Hey everybody, welcome to Desert Sky Mystic. Today we're going to be doing our love and relationship reading for Aries. So this is a general reading, which means it will not apply to everybody. But if it resonates with you, make sure to like the video so we know which of these messages are landing and which ones are not. This is going to be basically a three-card format or a three-station format. The first one's going to be for those of you that are in a relationship. The second card is going to be for those of you that want to be in a relationship. And the last one's going to be for those of you that are kind of moving away from a relationship. So in this way, we can hopefully get to more people within this singular reading. Also, if you want to jump down into the description area, we do have timestamps, which will allow you to jump forward to whatever card applies to you. So having said that, let's go on and get started and see what the cards have in store for my Aries friends. All right. So again, first card's going to be for those of you that are in a relationship, for those of you that want to be in a relationship, and for those of you that are moving away from a relationship. So let's go on and jump right in here. See what's happening for those of you that are currently in a relationship. So be generous of spirit. This is the Lion Spirit card. The generous of spirit card means be open, be giving. Relationships oftentimes they're supposed to be reciprocal, and we can't control what others do. All we can do is control ourselves, how we contribute, the effort that we put in, and then ideally that will, you know, ideally that will be reciprocated in like as well. So I mean, all you can really do is control what you have to give the relationship. And then if that person, if your partner isn't responding, isn't giving what you need, well, then that's a different issue as well. So perhaps that's where you're at as well, that you're feeling a little, neglected, that the other person isn't quite fulfilling your needs, things along those lines. We'll see once we get a couple clarification cards out here. But I would definitely say that there's something along these lines. Let's go on and toss a few extra cards here and see what this is, what's happening here. Yeah, so I almost get the sense here that one of the partners, whether you or your partner, is kind of in a state of being a little controlling here. We do have the control card here, and that is really wanting them to play by your rules, do the things you want to do, do things, see things the way you want to see it. And you got to keep in mind that you got to remember that relationships are a two-way street, or at least the healthy relationships are a two-way street. So this could be you, or perhaps this is your partner that you're with right now. And I think the important part is if it's used to recognize it and then again make some changes, control your decisions, control how you approach relationship, how you see the relationship. It could be just an outlook thing for you as well. This reading is really urging you to just kind of relax a little bit, go with the flow. If you're a little more easygoing, or if they're a little more, if okay, so if the control issue is with you, if you find yourself trying to control, if you find yourself getting aggravated and irritated by your partner not doing the things that you want them to do in the way that you want them to do it, when, the what, when, why, and how, all of that stuff. If you have to control all of that, maybe it's time to take a step back. It's calling for you to go with the flow here and really just find the things that remember the things that you appreciate about your relationship. Maybe this is a time to contemplate if this relationship's going the direction you're wanting to go. If it's not quite to the level of marriage yet, are we headed towards the marriage level? Is this relationship strong? Has it got legs? Is it going to last? If you are in a relationship or a marriage, are you guys having trouble at this point in time? Do you need to speak with someone? Do you need help resolving some of these issues? But really, I kind of get the sense here this may be a little bit more about you. I mean, I think it's really calling for you to kind of ease up a little bit, reevaluate the relationship, and and really kind of just relax. just enjoy what it is. And, right now, I think if you try to hold on too tight, it's just going to push the other person away. Maybe it's just as simple if there's things that are aggravating you or so forth. Perhaps it's as simple as, you two having a conversation about that, and discussing these types of things and communicating. Because I know a lot of times, when there are troubles in relationships, a lot of us just comes down to communication. A lot of times a partner doesn't even know what's bothering us, and vice versa, because nothing's really been said, whether that be because, you're scared of the outcome of that conversation, or you don't feel it's very safe, but nothing's going to change unless you do something about it. And once again, you cannot control them. You can only control what you do. And if you're sitting around waiting for them to make this move or make certain moves and it's not happening, well, it's up to you. Initiate it. If this is important enough to you, initiate those conversations and see where that goes. Let's get an advice card out here and see what that's looking like for you, Aries. One faithful friend. Okay, so I like this. I think this is the one faithful friend card. It's really again reminding you that you guys got together for a reason, that you are friends and you were friends before, and that friendship side of this is what you're gonna need to fall back on to strengthen up a relationship. The lust factor comes in and out. But the friendship side, doing things together, doing things you enjoy together, spending some more just you just one-on-one time with your partner, and just kind of rediscovering yourself. I find that uh, this is a common problem, especially sometimes when you have kids. Now you both go so focused on the kids for so many years that after a while, you kind of lose those common interests. What do you have in common anymore outside of the kids? And I think that's where a lot of the empty nester problems, stuff like that, come from. But nip that in the bud before you get to that point. Have a date night. Figure it out, and figure out those things you guys enjoy doing together, so you can focus on the positive stuff instead of the negative components of a relationship. Okay, so let's go on and we will jump to the next card here, which is going to be for all of my friends that want to be in a relationship. Let's see what we have. Learn from the past. Okay, so learn from the past, elephant spirit. This could go either way. This could be, my guess is right out of the gate, I feel like this is more of a, maybe you've had some bad relationships, maybe you've had some heartbreaks, things along those lines, and perhaps you're ready to get out there again. But I think what this is really calling for, we're going to see when we get the clarification cards. But right out of the gate, I just want to say that, or I feel like I need to say that, that a lot of times bad relationships or relationships that don't work out, they're lessons for us. They give us more tools to move forward. So when we do find the right person, the person we're supposed to be with, we don't fall into some of those traps, or we can recognize some of the stuff that we don't like. So like in a past relationship, if person A, your partner or whatever, did this and this and this and this, and you hated it and it drove you nuts, and maybe it was a reason for the breakup, the split, divorce, whatever it is, you at least now know what doesn't work for you. So when you're looking for those future partners, you have a really good idea. You have that experience. So I think that's really kind of what this is calling for. Let's take a look at some of the clarification cards here and see what they have to say. Yeah, okay, we got the Beyond Illusion and we got the Conscious card. The Beyond Illusion card is really kind of stepping through. So it's like when I always use the bridge analogy, when there's a journey, if you use a bridge as a representation of a journey, and you start here and you go through over the bridge, which is all the experiences and lessons you're supposed to have. When you get to the other side, you kind of finish that and you move on through. And that's the Beyond Illusion card here. That is reinforcing the idea that you have learned some lessons here. You do know what you're looking for. You have gone inward. We got the consciousness card here. You are really kind of centered and stable. You know what you want, you know what you don't want. And I think you're in a really good place to find that person when if and when you are ready. And perhaps we're kind of at the end of this journey. Perhaps you are now ready for that relationship. But whatever it is, just the point being is that there was lessons in the past. Keep your eye out for the stuff that you know that you want and the things you know you don't want in that relationship. And I think you do. I think you have a really good centered, balanced approach to what that's looking like for you at this point in time. Let's take a look at our advice card. Look to the future. Okay, well, hey, uh, learn from the past, look to the future. I mean, that's great because I like the way this is laid out too, because it's kind of like you learn from the past. You've stepped through. You're very balanced. Now your time is now. I mean, you're ready. Look to the future here. I think this is just reinforcing the idea that, I think you are ready. I think that you have learned from the past, and maybe you're still a little tender, or still maybe a little skeptical, but I think that the healing that you needed to do, the stuff you needed to get over and the things you needed to learn, I think that you are through those things. And now as you run into that next partner in the relationship scene, I think one, you will be able to spot what you don't like and move beyond that relationship quickly. But when you do find that relationship, that person that is appealing to you, and those red flags are going off, I think you're going to be very, very well equipped to step right into a very healthy relationship. Okay, very nice. All right, let's take a look at what the cards say for those of you that are moving away from a relationship at this point in time. The abundant universe will provide. So the buffalo spirit. So yeah, I mean, if you're moving away from a relationship, a lot of times that's a scary thing. It's a sad thing. We are, in a vulnerable state, whether we've initiated it or whether we're the ones that are getting, the other person's leaving us. But the point being is uh, that there's going to be plenty of opportunity. Things work out the way they're supposed to work. That again, there's plenty of fish in the sea. That this is not the end. You may have some healing to do on this, depending on what this relationship was like for you. But when this is all happening for a reason, and it's just preparing you for your next relationship, if and whenever that actually occurs. So my guess is, it's like all of us when we're exiting a relationship, there's some lessons, usually harder lessons that we've learned. But again, those are all things that we can put in our tool belt for the future as well, especially when we are attempting to find a a partner that is a better match for us. Let's see here. Yeah, I think this was it's kind of interesting. We have the conditioning card here, and we have the schizophrenia card here. And the schizophrenia card is really just about tough decisions. And the conditioning card is really about kind of operating on somebody else's belief system. I almost get the feeling here that, you weren't really you in this relationship, that you lost a good part of you in this relationship, and that you started recognizing that. And it's I think that's what kind of led to the decision here, or at least caused the trouble that led the decision to split, regardless who initiated it. I do think that there was a decision that you had to make here, and that's why I think that this may have been a decision. Maybe you're the one walking away from this, because I mean, the schizophrenia card, I don't like the name of it, but it's about decisions. You got a guy holding on to two different structures of two different building structures here, and it's a tough decision, and it's one of those decisions that you're really not coming back from. So I mean, if he lets go with his hands, he's going head first. If he lets go with his feet, he's going feet first. But whatever this person decides, they're not going to get a second try at this. So I think that this is something you've been holding on to. You've been really contemplating. You've been exploring and searching yourself. You've recognized some things. You've recognized the fact that you've kind of lost yourself in this relationship, and now you are faced with, or have already made this decision move on, to move on to bigger and better and healthier things for you, to find yourself again and who you are outside this relationship. Let's take a look at the advice card and see if it can add anything helpful here. Love your inner child. Okay, so yeah, this is just kind of reinforcing this conditioning card here. You've lost a piece of yourself. This is love your inner child. You gotta get back to who you are. You gotta get back to loving you for being you. Perhaps there are some self-esteem issues here that maybe your self-esteem was knocked down in this relationship. Again, whatever the case being, you don't feel good about this, and you just need to take some time for yourself as you move out of this relationship, especially before you get into another one. You need to recenter, rebalance. You need to love your inner child, and you need to get back to being who you are. And I think that as you go into your next relationship, you need to be really careful about letting, in any relationship, we should never let go 100% of who we are. And I'm not saying you did, but I think that you let go a lot more than you realize and you're comfortable with. But there's a balance. We got to have our own life, and then as individuals, and then we have to have our life within the relationship as well. And we got to maintain that balance, and then also accept the fact that that's healthy for the other person, your partner, as well. Life is balance across the board. So I think that this overall reading here is just saying it's time to make this decision. It's time to find yourself again. Take some time and do some self-care, some self-healing, some self-love. Love your inner child. So okay, that is what I have for you, Aries, on the love and relationship front. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. If this video resonates with you, please make sure to like the video for me. And then, of course, if you have not yet, subscribe to the channel. We'd love to have you, and it helps us out quite a bit. So thank you once again for watching, and we will see you next time.